Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? This is Leo Naranjo IV, candidate for Governor of California 2026, and I'm putting out a little video here for a couple of reasons. One, today is the 17th of December, 2025. We just we just passed the 16th of December, which was yesterday, and that was the observation of the 85th anniversary of the opening of the Battle of the Bulge, one of America's biggest, one of the armed forces' biggest battles to date in World War II at that time. Over 1 million soldiers between both sides fought in that battle, which lasted almost up until February, and a lot of things happened. Estimated casualty counts, 500 people a day, just on the U.S. side. Horrible things that happened, including the Malmedy Massacre, where we had hundreds of U.S. soldiers that were mercilessly, gunned down by the SS troops of that time. Vague stories about who did what, why it happened. Doesn't matter. The fact that it happened is all that mattered to the American side. That galvanized forces who thought about surrendering in face of the overwhelming odds that they had, to no longer take that as an option. What we didn't have or highlight, and I'll find that later in a different post, are the black soldiers, the African American soldiers of that time frame, that were also rounded up, taken prisoner, and they were gunned down as well, simply because they were racially inferior to the SS troops, or so they thought. And the justification for that was these soldiers came from the Eastern Front, and this is what they were used to doing. But I'm not here to talk about that. That's for historical military content. What I am here to talk about is tomorrow is the 18th of December, 2025. And right now I'm working on trying to get with Mayor Fugazi, who's the mayor of Stockton, to help me host an event or partake in an event where we're down in the city of Stockton, and we're near the 1900 block of Lucille Avenue, the place where those people were gunned down, and where that explosive shooting took place at the end of November, of all places, at a children's birthday party. This posting is not for blame, it's not for accusations, it's not for pointing fingers. This posting is threefold in intent. And the intent that I would like the mayor to understand is this. 29th of November is when that was reported to have happened, just before the end of the month and right before the beginning of December. Thanksgiving has already passed. Children are there to celebrate another little child's birthday. All kinds of people, big gathering, probably a day like any other day for any other time frame, except on that day and that night. You've all heard the stories, you've read the news reports. Lots of people shot, lots of people wounded, folks scattering to the four winds, the four corners, and we have individuals who died, 3 children and a 21-year-old. I think I mistakenly called that out as 4 children. My apologies. The names I don't have with me right now, that's going to follow up in another posting. But we had 4 individuals died, lots wounded. 16, 17 wounded, 18 wounded. My goal, my hope, my sincere desire was to go down to this area, to invite the mayor, to invite the chief of police, to invite the county sheriff, to invite the Sacramento Kings, that basketball team here out of Sacramento, to invite the community to come down and to remember the people who were lost there on that day, most especially those 3 children. 8, and 14, I believe, was their ages. To remember those children for the short lives for what they have. To look at the memorials, I'll post that again in a separate posting on X, and I'll put it out on a LinkedIn, some other groups that I'm aware of. They had no chance, they had no life, they are no longer here with us. My desire was to bring the community and all the members of the community, elected leadership, law enforcement, our local stars, if you will, to bring them down to that area to remember those kids and that young adult that were mercilessly gunned down at a birthday party. Because for you and I, that moment of time was horrendous, but time is going to pass, and a year from now, there's going to be a lot of memories that are going to be forgotten, them included. The second point I was trying to make, that I wanted to make, was to ask the community, to ask the mayor, to ask the Sacramento Kings directly for assistance. And I'm well aware that there are assistance groups out there. They've already been talking. They're trying to get some help out for people to make payments to this, payments to that, rent, food, car, insurance, what have you. My call, specifically with the mayor's help and law enforcement's help, is to ask the community, the public, and yes, the Sacramento Kings, here is an opportunity to provide for relief to these people, these parents who lost folks in this shooting. The parents of those children, the parents of that 21-year-old. Could you find it in your heart and the spirit of giving to provide the cost for those funerals that these families are now having to face in light of the holidays? I thought that would be a noteworthy cause. It would be a noble cause. Sacramento Kings would definitely be able to do that. Whether or not they want to or not is another question. If not the organization, how about the individual players? How about the minor league team in the area, the Stockton Kings? That was the second intent. I wanted church members to be there also, especially for the third reason that I'm trying to do this. And yes, I understand it's a shotgun moment. It came out of last week. The third reason I wanted to do this was to encourage the families who have lost their loved ones not to lose faith or hope in the reason of the month that we're about to celebrate, Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Very hard to do when you're about to bury your 8-year-old or your 14-year-old or your 21-year-old. To be absent from the bodies, to be present with the Lord. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be blessed. These folks, unlike us, are going to relive this nightmare every year. We, as the general public, are going to relive it for 1 or 2 years, and then time is going to soften our memories, and at one point of time, or some point of time, this is just going to be words and pictures on paper to us. Given enough time, it won't even mean anything. Yeah, a horrible incident took place in Stockton on this date. Ooh, terrible. And that's it. We move on with our lives. But these parents are going to face this month of December and Thanksgiving, more so for December, as the most horrific time in their lives from now until the day they pass. Because those memories are not going to fade easily. They're going to be seared in their minds. They're going to go through bouts of depression, bouts of anger, bouts of sadness, bouts of tears, mourning. Their faith is going to be truly tested. Their commitment to the Lord is going to be fully tested. And a lot of people are going to ask, why was this allowed to happen? And we all know spiritually, our ways are not the Lord's ways, and His ways are not our ways. And there's a reason for everything. But we have to have faith in Him. The third reason I wanted this get together was to bring light to that problem for the families who lost their family members right before Christmas. Yes, you're going to mourn. Yes, you're going to be hurtful. Yes, you're going to be angry. Yes, it's going to be painful, and every year it's going to be painful. But I implore you, each and every family, for those who lost people in this shooting, do not look at December as a month of despair, but embrace it as the month of joy for the reason that it is. The birth of Christ to our planet. Does that change anything for you? No. Will that change anything for you? I have no idea. But in memory of your loved ones who are lost, don't stop your life because of the tragic happenings of what happened to them. I don't believe that they would want you to do that. I think that they would want you to celebrate. I think that they would want you to live a happy life and have faith and know and be firm in the knowledge that they are with the Lord Jesus Christ. They're taken care of. We're still down here on this planet. Don't question their faith. Yes, I understand you'll have doubts, but be firm in your commitment and be resolute in your understandings. That was my goal for what we're trying to do tomorrow. I'm waiting on word by hopefully 10 o'clock, no later than 11 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to see if this can go forward. We seem to be having some governmental technical issues all of a sudden. I would like this to happen. My intent is sincere to have this happen. This is not about being a candidate. This is about being a father, a human, a compassionate soul who is reaching out to others to help them get through an event which will be impacting for the rest of their lives. And I want to be able to bring this to you today to let you know that's my intent, that's my desire. And I wanted to let you know my hope and prayers are that this is happening tomorrow. But if it doesn't, then we'll try a different way in a different venue, and we'll proceed accordingly with that. And then we'll have the explanation for the other thing. So that's what I'd like to do. That's what I want to try and do. And hopefully it'll take place. We'll throw out some prayers, ask the Lord for some guidance, and we'll see what happens next. So thank you very much for listening and for paying attention. Sorry if you see a little water in my eye on here. Very emotional thing to have to talk about. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. God bless you all. Take care. Have a great day. After near 3.5 weeks of no sun, we finally have some sun rays breaking through the clouds. Let's enjoy the happiness of that moment, because tomorrow starts the week's worth of rain that we're expected in the valley. So don't want to make light of the touchy situation, but let's all remember what the month of December is. Let's try and bring joy to the New Year's, and let's try and help those families who may have lost joy remember what it means to be joyful. God bless you. Take care, and we'll talk to you later.